Well, hello everyone. We are in the mountains with a special reason because we will do the e-bike world tour de Mont Blanc in Verbier, and there will be some hectic days coming up, and I will do some videos for you, different ones, from talking about what's the race all about to going more in detail about the bikes. We will do daily updates during the race and after the race, sharing great footage of the up and the downhills, and introducing first of all the riders. Let's start with the guys on the bench. On the left, we've got Pasi, the mechanic.
Hi.
And on the right, my racing buddy, Tobi. Like, Pasi, what's your background? Are you mechanic for a long time already?
Yeah, for 10 years now. Yeah.
So we have an experienced guy in the pits the coming days. Good. And you, Tobi, what's your background? You're not from racing e-bikes in the first place, right?
At least we have 2 out of 3 guys with experience. I'm the rookie.
Yeah, because you come from ski, right?
I come from skiing, yes.
Yeah, so just if you didn't know it, Tobi and me raced the e-bike to the Mont Blanc last year as well together, and we made kind of our own gallery, like big boys racing team, because we're quite strong but also quite heavy, making it really tough if you have to climb like over 10,000 climbing meters in 2 days. So this is the team of Ghost. Hope you will enjoy our adventures, and I keep you posted. So we are now on our way to the valley to do the registration, and you will see some other athletes from Highbike as well. We stay together with them in the house preparing for the e-bike Tour de Mont Blanc. Regarding the registration, there are 2 boxes which I will show you later on. The gray box is for the first tech zone and the blue box for the second tech zone. We would like to have the best starting position. Is that possible?
Yeah, and the fastest engine also.
Yeah, and how much do we need to pay to be in top 3 in the GC?
Just nothing, you're cool enough.
So we are team 9 out of 30 teams, and the blue and the gray boxes are there to put the batteries in, so we can swap batteries twice a day. This video we're going to talk about my bike, so a little bike checkup. As a base, we are using the Ghost E-Ride all mountain version, having 160 meter in the front and in the rear, and then we have some specific adjustments we made for the race here. Of course, we are on the CXR motor, having 85 Newton meters and a 750 watt-hour battery. That's really needed for the long stages we have ahead. Looking closer, we changed the rotors to a 220 millimeter in the front. Like, the downhills are really steep, so some extra force there is needed. We have a specific e-mtb chain on from KMC to have like the best transfer in power to the rear wheels. As well, we changed the tires to a more rough compound, having the double down on, so they are a bit more like protective, as well as the rubber is a bit softer to have more grip. And then on the handlebar, like, we have the Garmin for navigation, the display to check the battery capacity, and of course the Insta360 to give you the nicest onboard footage. So yeah, this is the bike check, and we will send it tomorrow. Full gas. Ciao. Good morning everyone, it's race day 1. It's 6:30 in the morning and we are making ourselves ready for the race. What's your breakfast?
Coffee.
It's not working.
Nothing.
Just some info about the format. We're doing a 2-day race, over 70 to 75 kilometers a day. More than 8,500 meters of climbing. Come on, you can do this. Come on, look to the front, go, push. Good. Take it easy now. The next corner you push again. And 11,000 meters of descending. So that's pretty sick. The highest point we reached today is at 2,500 meters. We need to climb, I think, 4,300, and we going down 5,500 meters. So pretty sick day. The format is like we have to be in couples, so me and Tobi, we are always together and we have to finish together. 3, 2, 1. The time of the second guy is counting. And over those 70 kilometers we have timed and neutralized sections. So in the time sections we go flat out, and in the neutralized sections we just need to be in time for the next start of the time section.
700 meters of suffering and the others are enjoying.
Let's see what's happening today. We are excited and looking forward to it. Andrea,
Yeah?
what do you eat for breakfast? Muesli
Yeah, and yogurt.
and yogurt, power food.
Yeah.
I'm also on the muesli. Some fresh fruits, maybe some bread. Tobi is going for some smoothie, but I can guarantee you there's plenty more food going in that belly. Alright, it's about to start. We are starting in a mass start, 30 teams altogether, men and women, and we're hitting the first uphill. As you can see, it's pretty hectic, but everything is sorting out quite well, spreading the field in one long line. You're suffering, huh? Yeah, Tobi was already suffering on the uphill, so I tried to help him a bit with pushing him wherever I can, and then letting him in the lead in the downhills, as he is really fast going downhill, and I could just follow his rear wheel, looking at his lines and staying close together. As I told you in the introduction, it's quite important to be together for safety reasons, of course. I mean, we're up in the mountains high, so if something happens, it's always good to be together and help each other out. But also, it's just way more fun to be together and sharing the adventures. Just to let you know, we are racing all those down and up hills blind, so we have not been here before. So yeah, that's pretty sick actually, the speed we get. Hey guys, we finished the first time section. Left, we go left here. Yeah, so this is neutralized, but come on. It's pretty challenging actually, but yeah, first time section went well. We had 700 meters of climbing right from the start. That was hectic, man.
700 meters of suffering and the others are enjoying.
Yeah, like, just to be clear, Tobi is close to 90 kilos and he needs to push the same climbs as all the light girls and boys. So he was suffering big time, but then he was on good speed on the downhills. We catch a lot of people. So now we are going to the fietstechniek zone, swap batteries for the next time section. We're now in the fietstechniek zone for some medical help and battery swap. Thanks Basi for helping us out. And straight from the fietstechniek zone we go into a timed section again, as you can see here. We just go from the start flat out in those uphills, getting as much support from the motor as possible. In this case we had quite a long uphill followed by a downhill. This is actually pretty challenging. I decided to take the stairs instead of the line on the left. I saw it was quite wet, so I suppose it will be slippery. Yeah, this was actually a really sketchy moment. I took the safe line and Tobi just gave it all. That's too steep, man. Tobi, are you going? Yeah, he sent it big time. I was quite scared, so this is a great example why you should be in couples doing this race. I helped him out as much as I could, so we could continue. He didn't hurt himself, luckily, so we could continue and look at those amazing views. This is by far the most pretty place I've been racing until now. Sadly, we had some setbacks in the last part of this day. I broke my front chainring and therefore Tobi had to pull me the last kilometers, but in the end we took it home safe and finished the first day of the e-bike world tour on position 15.
So they were done and dusted.
Yeah, for sure. Sure.
We were, we had a good time on the trail on the last stage. But then bad luck came to this fellow.
Yeah, I got a broken chainring in the front, so my chain fell off every time. So we tried to run, to push, to pull, to do everything to make the gap as small as possible actually. Especially because we were like aiming for top 10 and we overtook already 3 riders, or 3 teams actually, so we did a really good job actually, and then yeah,
bad luck at our side. There was not a specific reason why the chain got bent, and there was just one of the tooths missing, so it just fell over every time. And we went in adventurous mode and then all the way to the finish. Girls?
Yeah, this guy was sending it so hard without a chain. I've never seen that before. So he really went all in for the best we can do. And we keep you updated, and now we have a rest.
Cheers.
Well, the video shows it all. Tobi really had a rest. He charged his battery, as we did also in the battery charging room. As you can see here, plenty of batteries are charged for the competitors.
Good morning, it's day 2 and also the final day of the e-bike world tour. There's a big day coming up with over 75 kilometers, roughly 5,000 meters of climbing and descending. But first we have to go with the gondola. Everyone is lining up already to get to 2,700 meters. And from there on we will go with a mass start into the first time section. A bit of climbing, but a lot of descending. Today they have said it will be an even more rough day looking at trail wise. So yeah, will be good.
The struggle is real one more time.
We are currently on P15, but we lost a lot of time yesterday with the broken chainring. And we are really motivated to make up some time, hoping to get into top 10 by the end of the day. But yeah, it will be a big suffer for Tobi on the uphills. So we will do our best in the team way to like push, pull and do everything we can to be as fast as possible. So for now we're gonna enjoy the really nice scenery up here with the mountains on the background. It's just beautiful here. So stay tuned. Cheers.
So day 2 just started on 2,700 meters of altitude, and I can tell you, you feel this oxygen wise, like you're breathing heavily after just a few seconds already. And from the top we had a really long downhill, as you can see here, finishing this timed section with a long technical and steep uphill where Tobi was suffering a lot. For now I will shut my mouth and just let you enjoy some of the nice trails up here. So here the Sufferfest started again with a really long technical climb uphill. You can see this in the footage, sharp hairpins, a lot of roots, a lot of rocks, very steep, and it's just a matter of focusing on trying to avoid as many mistakes possible.
Okay, buddy, almost there!
So I was a bit faster in that uphill, and I tried to cheer on Tobi to the finish.
What's this?
My life. This is weakness leaving my body.
That climb was just nuts.
If you think Tobi was suffering already, well, I can tell you there were 3 more time sections to go, so a lot of suffering was coming up. But first we could enjoy some of the most amazing downhills again. Like, look at this, it's just unreal if you ask me, especially if you're from Holland, and like we just have like 80 meters of climbing or descending, and then you're up here deep in the mountains, high in the mountains on more than 2,000 meters, just enjoying one of the most beautiful trails. Yeah, this was the moment Tobi was suffering again in the uphills. It was again really steep, and here we needed to go off the bike and go below the fences from the cows. Now we are hitting the downhill again, but sadly I flatted it, and the worst thing that could happen was on this section, because after this time section we had another time section before hitting the feed tech zone, and therefore we had to fix the tire ourselves.
Struggle is real one more time.
We have a big cut in the side hole. We tried to plug it, but the plug got out of it again. So now we try to keep the plug stable with tape while we are in the transfer stage to another really big timed section with like a lot of climbing and descending, right? So let's see in the next clip if it worked.
So our solution kind of worked. We put the plug in, it didn't hold, of course. Then we put tape around it and zip ties, and now at least there's some air in the tire. So fingers crossed we make it to the refueling station, also the technical section. So Pascal, see you there. Hopefully you can help us out.
So there was like one bar in the rear wheel when we started the downhill. Luckily I have an insert in the rear tire, so when I was completely flatted, at least I could continue my ride. It will be a bit rough, but it was kind of okay. So what we decided to do later on in the stage is when Tobi was on the uphills, he was suffering a lot, as you can see.
You can do this. Come on, look to the front, go, push. Good. Take it easy now. Next corner you push again.
So in those little climbs I tried to make a gap on Tobi, then I could put some more pressure in the rear tire again. By the time I was finished, Tobi was catching up with me again, so we could go down together. But it got rougher and rougher, and by the end of the stage there was like no air in the rear tire anymore. So just imagine in the next clip that you are just on your insert, still getting that speed out of the bike. Pretty happy I could still go this fast in the downhills, even though I was just on my insert.
Yo, last update before we will finish the day, and there with also the e-bike world tour. We have one stage to go. It's mostly uphill, it will be tough, and Tobi, oh, he is just so, he's like last year again. But we're doing good. Had some little mechanics with the flat tire, which we could kind of solve in a way, like, yeah, MacGyver style, I would say. But we made it to the finish. So yeah, now just one stage to go and then finish.
And with finish I meant, of course, the technical zone. And from that technical zone we had a really long climb ahead of us. That was just a big suffer, but you can see this in the next clip.
So I'm halfway the last stage of the day on a 1300 meter climb, and it's so unreal steep. I'm suffering so much. Would you imagine how much Tobi is suffering? He's just a brave man, a lion. He's just fighting his heart out to get to the finish.
So we found out later on that we and also other competitors had a big issue with derating, meaning that the motor and the battery got too warm and therefore it only gives like support in eco mode. And that's not what you want on those climbs. The good thing, eco mode doesn't affect the downhills too much, and we could enjoy some of the last downhills in a good way before getting to the finish line and therewith finishing a second year e-bike world tour. I'm so proud of you, Tobi. You made it. Well deserved rest now, and you did a great job. Bringing home P13 in the end.
Big boys racing, fresh under the arch.
Oi, boy. We survived another year e-bike world tour. Last year you thought already the suffer was real, but the last stage of today was from another level, right?
Yeah, last year was definitely the hardest thing I've ever done, but compared to this year, it was nothing. Can't talk about anymore.
So yeah, last stage was like 1300 meters in the sun, 35 degrees, very steep, suffering a lot. Had some downhills towards the finish line and brought it home safely. Pretty done. So I hope I can get some of the footage, put it in this video. Hope you like it. Check out the socials. In the coming days there will be some more footage coming, but for now, ciao.